Hello everyone, I'm Farmer Sim and welcome back to Court Farms Country Park and specifically episode 10 of the Let's Play series. So, I hope you're all doing well and having a good day. So, I've just been checking on the fields, on our two oat fields here, doing pretty good. The expected yield, as it always has been, it's about 123% in this particular one. There we go, if I just bring that back up. Yeah, 123%, it's all good. Everything's tickety-boo. And as is this beautiful field of linseed. Love it, really do. So, anyway, yeah, what are we up to? So, onwards from the last episode, we have scraped a little bit of money together, and what I have just done off camera before starting this episode, I've just sold a trailer load of our silage bales that we had stashed away in the shed. Sold that for just over £15,000. So at the minute, we are currently sat on 25,048 quid, which is half decent. And as some of you may remember, again, onwards from the previous episode, I do have a yearn to start ramping things up a little bit, getting a little bit more money into the bank account so I can buy another field, essentially. I don't need any more kit equipment at the minute. I think I've got pretty much most of what I need for now. We've got everything we need to perform any grass work. We've got the harvester that we still haven't used. Obviously, you know what I've got. Everything's here. The basic stuff, that's all I need. At the minute, anyway. So I was having a look in the map. If I just have a quick pop to the PDA, where are we? This one here. So, yeah, most of the fields are obviously very expensive. We all know that. But locally at the minute, there's this one here, plot of land 131, which is going for £120,000. That one's in my mind. We've got plot 135 for 119 and plot 94 for 124, or nearly 125 actually. So I would like to, if I do end up buying some land, I'd like to try and keep it within the radius of our farm, as it were. So that's why I've been looking at these ones. Obviously things like this, which is 309,000, that's completely unobtainium at the minute. I can't afford anything like that. But this one's a bit reasonable. This one's 156, so yeah, it's a bit more than these ones, but that might be a bit too much at the minute, considering I need another £100,000 on top of what I've got at the minute before I can consider anything. So yeah, I've got my mind on this one, or this one. Now, in the... what have they got in them? Right, so this one is... I think it's canola or soybeans. I'm trying to get the colour matching right there. That could be soybeans. This one's obviously sunflowers. I think, yeah, sunflowers. Well, that might be... this one might be field bean, actually, mightn't it? You know what, we'll pop over and have a look. Let's have a quick wander over. Bring the map up. Field 91 is just next to our little grass field that we bought the other day. Yeah, this one here. Soybeans. Right, okay. So we've got a field of soybeans there that I might consider purchasing. So yeah, anyway, you see where my mind's going. I need to try and increase the farm a bit, invest into it, get a bit more land. The more land we buy, the more crops we can purchase, drill, and obviously come harvest time, the more crops we can sell and make more money. So that's the plan. Our grass field is ready to be cut, and I'm in no immediate rush for that. Obviously the cows are still, they've still got a decent amount of food in there. I know I keep doing this every episode, don't I? Just wandering up to this wall and bringing up the menu there. 98,000 litres. So they've still got plenty. They don't go through it really fast because I don't have Maize Plus installed. It is a mod I have been wanting to get my head around for quite a long time, and I do appreciate it is quite complex, which is great. I love the idea of using that and getting to grips with it. But at the minute, especially when it came to creating this series and starting it, I didn't want to start trying to learn something new while trying to make content like this. So I do need to get my head around it. But for now, it's we haven't got it on, so they seem to go through food particularly slowly. So that's all good with me though, because the pile of silage that we had in here, as you can see, I have sold an entire trailer load. Fortunately, the highest price was at Valley View Bales, which is just around the corner here. So it took me 10 seconds to get that sold, just north of 15 grand. So, and what we have here is more than enough for now, because I also have the grass field here, which is ready to be cut, and that'll all be, you know, the usual process: mowed, rowed, baled, wrapped, and turn that into silage as well. So we'll have an increase in all of that very, very soon. So that's that, and as you can see from the top there, I have taken on yet another contract in field 107, which is a silage contract. Now, the reason why I did that, I went into the contract menu before hitting record on this episode, and there are a million baling contracts. Here they all are, most of them being silage and hay wrapping ones. And the one that picked my eye was the one that was paying the most money, which was £16,485. So that's all good. So I figured I'm going to do that because, as we all know, you can take on the silage contracts, you get residual bales. So I'll get 16.5 grand for doing it, and I'll get a big chunk of money for selling the leftover bales that we get, which I'm going to do because I need more money. So if I jump into the map PDA very quickly again, field 107 is this one just down here. So if we just jump very quickly to it, it's a nice big field. It's got an awkwardly placed power line right in the middle. Or is that a telephone line, I think? But yeah, it does have collisions, so I'll have to get Courseplay to work around that, which is not a problem. But yeah, it's a nice big field, so hence why it's paying a decent amount of money, and hopefully we should get a decent amount of extra bales from this. So, and it's just situated off the main road here, just by the, I think this is some form of donut shop, cake shop, isn't it? Bakery, yeah. So it has, you can access this field through the main farm. If any of you are familiar with Scroft's Farmhand series, we've all seen the goings on in this area here in the big farm. You can access it through there from the top, but I did notice that there's this little field entrance here off the main road, so I figured I'd get the auto drive course set up, working through this gate here, just to add a little bit more of a challenge and hard work to my plate, because if I was to add the auto drive network through the main farm, it would get to that field very easily without any real problems bumping into things. So, but with this one, we've got a nice narrow gate, so I'm going to test my auto drive making skills again, as I always seem to do. So yeah, anyway, back to the farm. And now, before I crack on with anything, I just wanted to give a couple of shout-outs. There are a couple of you in the I think it was the very last episode I made, gave me some wonderful suggestions. Firstly is CG Farming, who gave me the suggestion for a mod called Big Bags as Default. Now, I did mention in the last video when I unloaded, I think I took something, what did I take out? I think I took the fertilizer out of the seeder, didn't I? And by default, as we all know, it gives you the base game pallet bag thing when you unload it. And I haven't been using those. I've been buying big bags, and I've also bought this, when it comes to fertilizer, I've been buying these super cheap pallets, 5,000 litres for £1,000. But yeah, big bags as default. So I've activated that, and sure enough, when you unload an implement of fertilizer, seed, whatever, it unloads it next to you into big bags, which it's just those little details that I really, really appreciate that modders take the time to make. So it means, you know, I can just unload things as big bags, which just looks, for me anyway, I just prefer that. It's awesome. So anyway, CG Farming, thank you very much for that shout out, mate, for that suggestion. I really appreciate it. So I've got that running. The next one is Mr. Byerman. Hello, mate. Hope you're all good. He has suggested the milk sale mod, which I did know of its existence, but I had one of those things that just didn't cross my mind. When it comes to selling milk, it automatically sells the milk that your cows have produced. I believe it's at 6 PM every evening. I think I'm right in saying that. I think that's what it said. So I have downloaded and activated that mod as well. So yes, it's one task that it's taken away from me. I'm not going to have to, you know, load up the tanker with milk and take it off to a sell point. It'll just automatically sell for me at the end of every day at 6 PM. So that's fine. I'm fine with that. I like the idea of that because it means, you know, the milk, you're not going to be holding on to a large capacity of milk for any length of time. So yeah, I like the idea of that. So Mr. Byerman, again, thank you very much for that, mate. And also Mr. Byerman had also, I suppose, politely requested he was interested in seeing how I had my auto drive course set up. Now, whether any others of you are interested in that, I don't know, but I shall. Reason why I've got the Ford parked here, so I can just jump in and bring up how I have set up the auto drive here, because the question was put to me as why do I have the course running around the back of the sheds here on the left hand side, in the way of the exit of the farm. So if I just jump into construction mode so I can fly about a bit. Now, auto drive will only display a limited number of the nodes on the route. For example, you know, if I go quite far away, there you go, you see it just kind of ends there, whereas this obviously does carry on and go into this field. But I'll just give you a bit of a rundown and show you where and why and how I've done all this. So, and I've only just noticed when you drop into construction mode with the auto drive nodes visible, it doesn't actually bring up the labels of the destinations that you've got here. So this is obviously just home farm, this node here. This node here is for the silo. So anyway, right, yeah, you come into the farm, the main brunt, especially all the narrow lanes, the single track lanes, they are all a two-way auto drive course, so that's what the blue line means, and you can't see any directional arrows in the middle. That means it's a two-way course, so the auto drive will find its own way either way on those. So it comes into the farm, and I've got it forking off to the right here. The main green line, that is the main auto drive course, I suppose you can call it that. Where it turns to yellow here, that's called auto drive calls that a side road. So when you are plotting a route, it will avoid side roads where you've made them unless the destination you're heading to is on that side road. So if I send auto drive into here, it won't ever go off here or through the silo bit here unless it's going to the silo or going to the cow feed trough thing here or the silage bunker here. So yeah, so the main green line comes in here and essentially just runs around the back of these sheds, because in my mind it just seemed to work better. There's an in and an out, so there's no, you won't get any traffic bumping into each other, there won't be any collisions, it gives everything a bit of room. And now I'm fully, all of my tractors seem to cope with this pretty well. There has been the odd one or two very light bumps here, and the big fent didn't make it round this bend. I suppose I could alter the position of these nodes a tiny bit to make the fent a bit more capable of getting round here when it's got the big mower on the front, and especially dragging a windrower behind it as well. But it's, for all intents and purposes so far, it seems to work relatively well. So yeah, that's that. The green line comes around and it goes out the farm that way. It just, in my mind, that just seemed to work best. It's interesting how each individual person, when it comes to making an auto drive course, will have their own preferred way of doing things, and each individual person's mind will see things working differently. So other people might see this and go, nah, rubbish, don't see how that's going to work, but this is how it's worked for me. This is how I, when I started the farm, I looked at it and I created the auto drive course and I had a look around. In my mind, this figured it would be a half decent way of doing it. So yeah, the green line essentially, as I say, just loops around this building in and out. The first side road, as it were, comes off here along the cow barn food trough and stops there. So when the tractor hits the trigger there, it will auto feed the cows if need be. And then in order to get itself out, I've just routed it all the way around here, done a little loop-the-loop here, hence why I did a little bit of landscaping in this area and just created this bit of soily, dirty land. And then it comes around here, and this point here is the slurry fill point. So if I have anything hooked up to the slurry tanker, it will automatically fill from here and carry on going. And from here, it then joins back up to the main track here if it wanted to exit the farm. The secondary one here is obviously just the silo. Now, for any of you unaware of auto drive, it's always best to put the trigger for a silo a good few feet in front of here. If the trigger was directly on top of the grate here, your tractor would stop here, because it's the track. There's a point on each tractor that gets to its destination. For example, this one here, and so the tractor will sit here and the trailer will be about here, so you wouldn't be able to tip. So you have to have the node further in front of the grate so that the tractor gets to here, and the tip point of the trigger point of the trailer hovers over the grate in order for it to get it to tip. So that's essentially why that happens there. That you pretty much do that with any tip point with auto drive. Always map it so it's a good few feet, meters, whatever distance in front of whichever grate you're tipping to, so that it will register and automatically tip. Hence, and that's the same with this one here. I think the trigger point somewhere around here. The trailers aren't big anyway, my equipment, as it were. So yeah, that's how that is. And obviously, yeah, it has we have a a side road going off down here. Now this is all these sections here are two-way because it's just a single track. It looks a little bit complicated here, but it works fine. Comes down and goes off down here, down to this field, round here, down to this field. I suppose this bit needs to be amended a bit. This trigger, this point here is the field point for this field, but obviously I did a bit of jiggery pokery with this field, so it used to be here. But anyway, yeah, that's the trigger point for this, the parking point for this field, and it obviously goes off down to here in a little bit of a loop around here, just to go in and out of that field. And the exit point, they'll always drive up here and hang a bit of a left and go round here, hence why I painted on this little farm tracky bit here. And it comes back round and joins on and can get to either direction if need be. And again, the same again with the sheep field. You can send a vehicle with a trailer in and out of the sheep field if necessary. So yeah, that's just a very basic rundown of my home farm's auto drive course. Anyway, the rest of the course around the map is pretty straightforward. It's you know, it's what most of people would be doing with auto drive, especially these narrow lanes. Anyway, all two-way courses. Apart from the main road, of course, the main road's got both in both directions. So that's your normal green lines left and right. So yeah, that's a basic quick rundown. As yeah, they see when you come out of construction mode, there you've got the labels there: home farm, farm silo. So yeah, I hope that's given a little bit of insight. It answered a couple of your questions regarding auto drive. Right. Anyway, where are we? What are we doing? So we need to crack on with field 107. Get this silage contract done. Get a bit of money back into the bank account, and we can start aiming for saving up, I guess, for 120 grand's worth of field at least. That's the ballpark figure. 119, 120, 124. We'll see where it takes us. So yeah, we will. What am I going to be using? Well, I think it's the Fent first, isn't it? So let's stick the Ford back in the workshop out of the way for now, because the first tractor we'll be using is the Fent. We'll get the big mower hitched up to the front of the Fent, and we'll get the windrower attached to the back of the Fent, and we'll get two birds done with one stone there. Right, let's park that one up. Let's jump in here and get this one running, and we'll get everything hooked up, and I'll send it on its way via auto drive. And the first thing I'm interested in is whether my auto drive access to the field has worked. Now, interesting, there's another one, sorry. The wandering windrower has carried on wandering, admittedly nowhere near as bad as it did when it was parked over there. It would wander off to the left within a matter of hours. This has been sat here now for several days. Now, let me just bring up super strength and just straighten it up. There. But yeah, so it seems that does still wander. I think that is something to do with the mod itself, with the implement, because I have used other windrowers like this in the past on different game saves in different places. I think the one I had in the Edgewater series, I had the Samaz. It's pretty much, it looks the same as this except it's green, and that did the same thing. I had that parked in the workshop, Trailer Park Farms, massive awesome workshop, and that would wander off. You'd literally see it in front of you. You'd park it, look at this little area here, and this bit would just be going all the way over here really quickly. Very annoying, but I don't really know what to do about that. So but anyway, yeah, sorry, just noticed that. So let's get round here. We're going to get the mower hitched up to the front of this thing. There we are. Oh, good lord. I'd like to give an excuse, a reason. Oh, I'm tired, it's early in the morning, but no, it's not. It's early afternoon. I'm thinking perfectly straight. I just haven't taken the weight off. Silly me. Right, let's try again. Get the mower hitched up. There we are. Excellent. Hold up. Excellent. And we'll get the rower hitched up to the back of this. We'll get this sent on its way to field 107, and I will pick the camera back up as we're approaching 107 to see whether I have been successful or not in getting field access right first time for this size machine, which I'm not holding out much hope, to be honest. I've got a funny feeling it's going to bump into the gate or the wall. So, right. That's that done. I'll see you in a second or two. Right, here we are. Moment of truth. Let's see if it's worked or not. I very much doubt it will. I've got a funny feel. I didn't even think of that. And there we are. Abject failure. No, you stop there. Right, okay. Need to do a bit of tweaking there, it would seem. Anyway, we're here now. Not going to muck around with that. We are going to get this field mode, road, and all sorted, all done. And I'll see you all in a wee while when we're done. Right, there we go. All back at the farm. Job done. That whole field 107 has just been finished, and let's just pull this thing up now. In fact, I'll just jump out. So, what did we make from that job? We made, silage bale-wise, residual bales, we made £11,666. Now if I bring up the menu there we go. We're now on 36,708, and we're ready to turn in. So let's have a quick flick down here. Where are we? Collect. Boom. Right. 53,193 quid. So that's brilliant. We're over 50 grand, but we're way less than half of the target that I'd like, which is, give or take a bit, around the 120, 125 grand mark. So we've still got a lot to get, a lot of money to earn. And I'm just trying to figure out the best way of doing it. I don't want to rush things, obviously. I'm not just going to go and just, you know, do things for the sake of doing things. Yes, I want to get some more land, but we'll do it as best as we can in the most content-friendly way as we can. So I may have to take on a good few more contracts to earn a bit more money. We've got the milk sale mod now in place, which will sell all of our milk at 6 o'clock every day. But for now, that's a good start. We're getting there. We're saving the pennies, as it were. So let's start off by, we'll put this thing away. I know I need to do my grass field. That needs to be cut, but I'm in no rush for that. I'm going to do that. I will do it ASAP, but I think for now I'd like to earn a few more quid, get a few more contracts done. So I'm going to have a quick look in a minute and see what there is. Oh, bumped into the wall. There we go. Right. Excellent. Okay, so let's just leave that there for now. Let's jump into the contracts menu. There's all manner of baling jobs, isn't there? Hundreds of them, in fact. 2,646 quid for a bit of fertilising. Yeah, I suppose it's worth it, but when we've got the likes of here, 13 grand for silage bales, 10 grand for hay bales, 10 grand for silage bales. Do you know what? I'm going to do these. One. Got that one. Silage bales. We'll do the silage ones first. Yeah, and I'm not going to bore you guys to tears with more of that, because I know I'm fully aware I've been doing quite a few of these since this series began. So content-wise, did you see that? There's a cow trying to climb over my manure spreader, which is full, incidentally. This, yeah. Hello, girls. These guys need a bit more mucking out, but yeah, this is completely full, 11,460 litres of manure, so I suppose I may as well, I could do with getting this thing out of here now. All the mucking out will be tipped into here, as I started doing earlier before I started recording the episode. And we need to get that, put that manure to use. I've got no idea how far that's going to go. And what I think I might do, because I don't know how far it's going to go, I was going to use it on this small field initially, just to get an idea of how far I can get it to go, and to practice using the side exit, side spreading thing of that manure spreader. So yeah, I think I'll just let it sit there for now, and when that feels ready for harvesting, well, ready for cutting, sorry, we'll cut it and we'll spread a bit of that manure on there and see how far it goes. Right, anyway, so I'm going to get these two fields joined up to the auto drive network. That's one job I need to do, and then I'm going to get both of these jobs done, and then I will pick you back up in, for me it's going to be a good couple of hours, I'd imagine, but for you guys a matter of minutes, and we'll see where we stand financially after that. Right, welcome back everybody. How are you doing? Well, it's been a good few hours for me. I suppose it's been a matter of seconds for you. Just a quick fade in and out of a video clip, but yeah, been busy. Right, where are we? I've done those two contracts. Get rid of that one there. As you can see, field 64 and field 24, both 100% completed, but eyes top right, everyone. Check out how much money I've got now. So, just from those two contracts, so where are we? Field 24 gave me £21,197 of residual bales. Field 64 gave me 9,552 of residual bales. I then took the executive decision to sell all of my silage bales that I had in this corner. So I got rid of those and sold those for a hefty £15,259. So that was awesome, and that's pretty much taken us to where we are now, £99,195. I also, because I clearly didn't have enough on my plate while I was at it, I mowed my grass. So I've got all this field cut. We got 38 bales out of it, and that's obviously what we saw there in the bale shed. That's 38 bales of fermenting grass. There we go, 0%. I've literally just stuck them in there in the last few minutes. So, because I figured I'd be able to sell the silage that I had there, because the cows, they're not going through the food as quickly as I expected them to. Just the pace of it, I guess. But so yeah, they're fine for food. They'll be fine until these things start fermenting. So, right. So now it's time to turn in these two contracts. And I think, boom, boom, £122,546. So, that means I can buy the field. I really wasn't under the impression that I was going to be able to get here today. But I am. We are. I can. So let's jump into the menu. There we go. Dum-da-dum-da-dum. Which one is it? It's that one, isn't it? Farmland. So it's field. That one. £120,000. Bought. Done. There we go. We have expanded the farm, ladies and gentlemen. I know we've already been over there, but it's now ours. So it kind of rings a bit different now. This is our field. Here we are. Soybeans. So, it definitely needs a good coat of nitrogen. Of lime, and nitrogen is fine. So a good coat of lime will bring up that expected yield, hopefully. Growing weeds. So we need a weeder. I think I've got a weeder. I think I better not forget. Where are we? I'm sure we have. Oh wait, yeah, weeder. There we are. Excellent. Right, so we can sort that out, and we will do that in the next episode. That will be some work to do. Come episode 11, we'll run a weeder in that field, we'll run the lime in that field, get that yield up to speed, up to where it wants to be. The girls in here need another mucking out, so all that will be tipped into a pile in this little area here for now, because as I said before, the manure spreader is full. But that's a good bit of progress, I feel. I'm really happy with that. I need to stop running round back and two, don't I? Stand still for a second. Ants in me pants. Yeah, I think good progress today. We've obviously done some contracts. We've got a load of money in from the residual silage bales and from the contracts themselves. I've mowed the big field. That's now fermenting away. The cows are alright for food. The sheep are alright for food and water. Obviously, just the usual rundown that I always do multiple times in an episode. Yeah, awesome. I'm really chuffed with that. And now we've got another field. I think acreage-wise, let's just have a quick look. It was farmland. There we go. 4.96 acres, so another just under 5 acres. So I'm really chuffed with that. And I've cleaned all the tractors off and all the equipment. And the Ford runs the baler. Actually, that was something I meant to bring to your attention. I hadn't actually tried the Ford with the baler, and running around doing all those jobs, getting all the grass work done. I just gave it a go, and it runs fine. It struggles a little bit because it's quite slow geared, this thing, but it runs it nonetheless. So again, I was kind of limiting myself running the baler with the fence. So the Ford can now use that as well. Right. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna call this episode here, ladies and gentlemen, because I've been very busy today. I've been at this for quite a few hours, and I think it's about roughly the right kind of length. I think maybe hopefully about half an hour, maybe a bit more. So, as always, thank you for watching. I really hope you've enjoyed it and found it a bit of fun and a bit interesting. Yeah, if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel and you like my content, you like the way I do things. hit that subscribe button and hit the like, and leave me a comment as well if you can, if you've got any suggestions for me. I love hearing from them, and I will always do my best to respond to them in a timely fashion, and bring them up in the next episodes if I can. So, thanks again everyone, and I'll see you in the next episode.